Hello everyone, I hope you're taking it easy and your day has been great thus far. For this video we'll be continuing through our unbagging of the Combat Patrol subscription magazine with issue number 5. And Combat Patrol is for the Warhammer 40,000 setting. Getting straight into the nitty gritty. So, front of issue number 5 here, we have a Ultramarine Sergeant, I believe, with bolt gun, well, probably bolt pistol, and a chainsword, with some very nice artwork there. Does look very, very cool, and I can obviously sport a few more Ultramarines in the background. As what will be included in this issue, there will be a special, quote-unquote, limited Space Marine Sergeant, specifically for a Infernus squad, noted by the fact that he is holding one of those Inferno type weapons. So that will be an included model, and then there will obviously be some extra information within the magazine, and I can also confirm there will be some dice. Straight into it. So here, in terms of the contents page, so the Infernus Marine Sergeant. In terms of the painting, we have some techniques on base coating, and then just going through some of the Space Marines and Tyranids that have been collected thus far. From a story perspective, there will be a segment about the Imperial Tithe. Interesting. In terms of the collection side of things, just some more information on the Infernus Marine Sergeant. And then on the play side of things, there will be Flames of Purification, which will be the scenario, and some basics about dice and modifiers. So, how to build the Infernus Sergeant. So, pretty straightforward. In fact, I think most Primaris Marines probably build in a very similar way. So obviously, all the steps will be highlighted there, looking pretty straightforward and easy. Now, he will have a canister, well, a fuel canister, as part of his left arm accessories, and then the actual weapon in his right hand. So that's, once again, it's definitely a specialized model to replace the one that we received a few issues ago. Okay, so techniques regarding base coating. So this example is using base coating what it appears to be between Macragge Blue and probably Wraithbone, I think. Either way, these will be the paints that was in the previous issue, if I remember correctly. So it's nice to see. So that's that. So they'll be going through some of those techniques on some of the previous models. So the Infernus Marines, this one here could very well be the Terminator Captain, given that does appear to look like a Stormbolter. Previous Tyranid models. And then going into how to paint the Infernus Marine Sergeant with the base coat of Macragge Blue, the Wraithbone, going through that Baroque Noir Burgundy, just cleaning some of that up. But also going through some of the other things here as well, between the Wraithbone on previous models, the Burgundy, Tyranids getting a heavy coating of the Burgundy, as to be expected. I think it's supposed to be what? Leviathan? I'm not too sure. Either way, there is a page for the work in progress for what paint's been provided so far. So this will obviously flesh out more in future issues. The Imperial Tithe. So just some information here about the Imperium of Man. We have a little section here about the black ships, which, if I remember correctly, are cycle related. Basically used as a... Are they used for fuel for the Golden Throne? I don't want to say fuel per se, but yes, Golden Throne may be included. Back to the Infernus Marine Sergeant in terms of the collection, the concept of the red helm. Now, I've never been a huge fan of the multicolored helm system. I know why it's done, but I've not been a huge fan, which I will admit was one of the detractors for why I never started with Blood Angels. Fun factoid. And on the back of that, we do have that typical D6 dice generator, just to give the Sergeant a bit of flair. Flames of Purification, so this will be the scenario. So just going through some of the data sheets, the actual playmat setup, so where the Marines are, where the infestation sites are, etc. And no doubt we'll have some detail about where the Tyranids are. Going through the Space Marine rules, the actual profile, and the Pyroblast is the actual correct name of the weapon. Going back through the turn 1, turn 2 sequence, so it just seems to be the lone Marine walking around, which is okay. And then the general victory conditions, which is weird, because it's just what? These versus a single Marine. Who knows? These could be deadly, never know. Dice and modifiers, how to convert your dice into a D3, because most dice in this game are D6. Dice re-rollings, which I really need to read up on because I always get confused with some of the re-rollings and modifiers. Modifying your dice rolls, which is always an interesting, and then some of the other modifying characteristics, so always good to know. As I said, even I'm tempted to read some of this because yes, I get confused with some of the dice modifications these days, but it has been a little while, so that is my defense. Just the last page regarding combat patrol, so nice little shot. Not so much what we'll get in the issue, but it is what it is. Okay, as for future issues of Combat Patrol, at least in the Australian market, I think in the UK, Combat Patrol is probably in its last few issues. So the next issue, issue 6, will have 5 barb gaunts included. And then issues 7 and 8 will be a part 1 and 2. Part 1 of the, if I remember correctly, it's the termagants. So between the 2 issues, you'll get a full squad of 10, I believe. So that'll be good. So that's the next 3 issues. Issue number 6 will be the end of this particular block of my subscription package. So I'll do a little bit of extra information there about the subscription costs and stuff like that. And then 7 onwards will pick up the next block when it arrives. So that was issue number 5. What else was included in issue number 5? Well, I guess the more boring stuff will be the half a dozen dice. So just your usual D6 white die with the black pips. They do look very nice, and I have an awful lot of these, but that is okay. The more dice, the merrier. And if I ever start a Astra Militarum army, I will be in perfect stride. However, just the main interest for this issue was the actual Infernus Marine Sergeant. So we do all get a base. No holes in it, so it's definitely not a push fit, which is good. In terms of the Sergeant, definitely not a push fit Sergeant, so everything will need to be cut out, glued together. But that is one view of the runner, and then there is the back view. So it does look very, very cool. And given how he's posed, you could probably put him together as a single piece. I don't think there's going to be too much obscured, depending on your comfort level for painting. But there you go. That is the Infernus Marine Sergeant. Did I get a few extra issues of number 5? I might have. I think I only grabbed 2 though, so I didn't go too crazy with it. Anyway, that'll bring us to the end of the unbagging and page through of Combat Patrol issue number 5, as well as a quick look at the included Space Marine Sergeant model and dice. Thank you very much for watching this video. Feel free to do the whole like, comment, subscribe if you enjoyed the content. It does help support the channel, and I do appreciate it. Feel free to check out my Instagram and the community tab as well for some extra bits and pieces. It's not very 40k themed right now, but I do hope to inject a bit more in the future. With that being said, stay safe and take care, and I'll catch you in a future video, whether it's Combat Patrol issue 6, the retrospective for Imperium, or something else on the channel. See ya.